Good evening, everybody. We have a very special guest with us tonight, the director of Magdalena, Filip Gieldon. Hi, Philip. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I'm great.
Thanks so much again for taking the time to chat with us. We're very excited to hear more about the making of this film and more about you.
It's very nice to be here.
I guess we'll just dive right in. I would love to learn about your inspiration for writing this story. I did notice that your lead actress, Magdalena Zach, and your protagonist, of course, share the same name. Is there any relation between the two, or is that just a coincidence?
It's mostly a coincidence, although I was writing this for Magdalena Jacques. She was a friend of mine from film school. She was in the acting department, and my private girlfriend is also named Magdalena. It's a very common Polish name, and I like it because it has Marysia, which is Maria, the daughter. It has maybe some biblical connotations, but it's not as strong as being called Moses, right? So there was something about having it like a very common Polish name that this can happen to anyone. And I named it Magdalena, and we couldn't come up with a better title. I had some really pretentious titles go through my head and said, like, that's not like, we're not gonna call it Iphigenia in Łódź or something, because it'll just take away from the really stripped down and just this common story, kind of, or at least there's nothing special about her circumstances and her world or anything like that. It's about a person with a very real problem that we can hopefully all relate to, and that is what we wanted to do with the movie. Like, she's not, the world's best DJ or something like that, and we didn't want to approach it that way. She's just a girl with a dream and a problem that is very real for her, and we all have very real problems, so we can, attach our own story to that story.
Thank you for that, Philip. And yes, I agree. That's one of the reasons why I'm so drawn to this film in particular and your work in general. For those of you at Digital Debris, Philip has a great collection of works. Another film of mine that's a favorite work of yours is Say That You Love Me. It's a short
Oh.
film about for the audience at Digital Debris. I'll just preface it quickly. It's a short film about a brother and sister. But one thing, a common thread between these two films is that Philip is so great at building suspense and emotion. I'm curious, Philip, to you, what is the key to building suspense and emotion in your films, and to just making you really do capture your audience? I'm like on the edge of my seat half the time while I'm watching Magdalena or the other film.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, I believe in screenplay and I believe in conflict. That is something that has been beaten into my head with drama. And also, I also work in theater as a director, and you read some really good. Like, when I write a screenplay, I don't know if it's good or not, right? I have to make some assumptions. But when I read potential dramas to direct in the theater, they're all really good, or they just go in the bin, page 10. So, and conflict is the absolute, what do you call, like, the baseline, or like the cornerstone of any drama. And drama, of course, doesn't mean drama. Drama means any form. Comedy has drama. So yeah. In Magdalena, it was supposed to be, like I just said, like, it's supposed to be a drama that anyone can lock onto. So it's not about a very specific or larger than life character. She doesn't even consider it a problem most of the time, right? I mean, her problem is not that she isn't speaking. Her problem is something that happened in her past. And we even talked about it, like, it's not the problem of not speaking. She's not even communicating, right? She's more of a recluse, until some things happen here. She meets another DJ that kind of opens her up a bit. But consequential drama and conflict is, I think, the most important part in writing. I mean, for me, any story, but there are exceptions, I guess. But certainly for me, like, if I don't understand, which doesn't mean you need to tell everything from the start. Like, this film, the first half is kind of potentially meandering, although that conflict is there to help you be with the character and guide you through the problems and the problem solving. But not until we have the potential of her going to Berlin does the story or the plot actually kick in. And the second half is certainly much more, it's faster, it's jumpier from one problem to the next, because when she solves one, she gets the other one. So yeah, a central conflict in a character that you can understand. I also remember, I don't remember where this is from. It might be from a book or from school or somewhere, but basically we learn about character through choices, and choices are conflict. Now, if we have a character and the choice is coffee or tea, we don't learn that much about it. I mean, it's something, but it's not that much. But if we have, a taxi driver leaves a client at the airport, and that client runs out and forgets a bag, and the bag is full of money, right? The choice of giving that back or taking it for himself tells us a lot about that character, like instantly, because it's a choice that character makes, and we are following that character. So, and we do have loads of these kind of choices made throughout the film as well. I mean, that is the essence of character, not what they say, what they do, right?
Very well articulated. Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that very informative, enlightening answer with us. I didn't actually know that you direct theater as well. Did directing film come first for you, or theater,
Yeah.
or did they kind of, film was first?
Film was first. I mean, I directed plays before I directed a feature film, but I went to film school as a film director and noticed that I didn't really learn that much about directing actors. So I became a theater assistant and saw directors in the theater direct actors, which helped. And then I started directing some plays, and then I went a bit to TV. Some short films happened along the way. And we finally did Magdalena, and now I'm directing theater again, because getting money for a film it's a long process, right? I have 2-3 new screenplays. We're trying to get money for one or the second. COVID happens and the whole world is upside down. So right now, I just finished a play a month ago. I'm leaving on Monday to direct another play.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. And it's great fun, because that way I also it's great not to only write your own stuff. And I understand in America it's different, right? You get loads of screenplays everywhere. In Poland, it's not, we don't have that culture. There are 5, maybe 8, I'd say 5 screenwriters that can live from writing screenplays, and their screenplays go to, the top people who usually work with them anyway. They tell, like, all right, this book, let's adapt it. You start the work and I'll be directing it and I'll be jumping in. So, but in the play, I can grab anything by Annie Baker from America, or from Jess Butterworth from England, like some of the best writers in the world. And as long as the theater pays for it, we can do it. So
Oh, wow.
it's a really good way to work with some really good material.
Definitely. In my opinion, I think some of the best filmmakers are ones that really know and understand their actors and what goes into performance. Are you a performer as well?
No,
Theater,
not at all.
okay.
I'm
I'm just curious because of the theater
I'm being
connection.
stressed just having this footage
Oh
here.
no! Oh, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
So
If it makes you,
unfortunately, no. Which makes me very cranky when I hear about actors and editors and DPs taking my job and becoming directors. I mean, I understand what you're saying, knowing how to get into other people's shoes and similar. But no, the work with the actor is one of the essential things.
yes,
Even more so, choosing the right actor, because then you don't have to do
definitely.
other work so
Yes,
much.
and you've done such a great job in choosing Magdalena as your lead actress. I know you mentioned that you guys are good friends. How did you initially connect, you and Magdalena?
We just met in school. We got some contact. It was just having fun. I remember we had a really important summer break after school, because we both live in Warsaw, where she broke up with her boyfriend, I broke up with a girlfriend, and we were just kind of like 2 puppies, helping each other get through a hard time, and going to the beach and drinking beer and talking about life and watching movies probably. And I just always wanted to make a film with her, because she's so specific, right? She's so interesting.
Definitely.
Like a classic actor. I mean, or yeah, certainly like I say, I don't even like have a camera pointed at me, but when the light and the camera looks at somebody like her, you see that there's a connection, there's something going on. And she was my choice. I wrote it for her, but all the other actors, almost all, came from the casting director. Which, if anybody is questioning the need for a casting director, that was the first time I had one, and I'll never do without one, because he got me the mother, the horrible boyfriend, and of course the second DJ. So yeah, yeah, that made the film. And if you're unsure as a director about, oh, it's so hard directing actors, how do I speak to them? Just get the right actors, and then you just say, a bit faster, a bit slower or something. You don't have to even, and obviously have good material to give them. But that's, I've heard something about that it's about 70% of a director's work is getting the right actor there, because then you're just skiing downhill.
Yeah, I mean,
There's nothing like trying to ski uphill because you took the wrong actor, because then everything slows down and everything is a problem, and the actor is frustrated. I'm not even saying bad actor as in a bad actor, but the wrong person for the part, because then that actor gets nervous and fidgety and needs more time. God forbid you get an actor that is high maintenance as well, depending on your project, right? But like, I mean, Ridley Scott can tell any actor to just shut up and do it. You can't necessarily, because if that shuts down half your day, then you don't get to shoot that half day, and you can afford it.
yes, very true. You said something about choosing the right actor is crucial. I once heard from a filmmaker that different parts of the process of filmmaking are ways of rewriting the script, shooting it, the cinematography, writing it, editing it, adding music. They're all different forms of writing the script, or at least it was to her. Has there ever been an instance where the actor's performance was so strong that it kind of it embedded itself in a part of the writing? Or maybe, how do I articulate this? Like, the actor was a part of the writing process, if that makes sense, or rewriting process, I guess, or maybe just giving their own touches to different scenes that kind of rewrote certain scenes.
I mean, we didn't change anything because it was completely centered around the actress, right? I mean, I even had to have that conversation with Anna Gajewska, who plays the mom. Like, please don't get angry that the camera is on Magda, because that's the point. We'll do the coverage, we'll do a bit of crisscrossing, but everything is on her. It's like a magnet. Now, when the other DJ comes in, the magnet, it becomes 50-50. So the camera is gonna go more to her and back to Magda, like on the roof, for example, is a class. Like, we really worked hard to have this organic movement between the girls, because it suddenly becomes an open story. And we just added a bottle of wine there to have like a pretext to get the movement of the camera, that the bottle is going left and right. So I mean, here she was kind of writing it, right? I mean, she was in every shot basically. Um, and we were talking all the time. I find it, because I know what you're saying. I haven't really experienced that, what you're saying, but similarly, you get someone else in and it just unlocks a scene. And I remember when we were talking, me and Magda, before shooting, like she didn't get some of the scenes. Like the first meeting between the girls, when she comes in to get that DJ job, like she didn't get it. She's like, there's nothing here, like whatever. But when we were doing casting and Natalia came in, first off, I mean, you could just see it, bang, like this is the girl, finally, because that was the hardest part to cast. We needed somebody who is at the age of Magda's mother, but she's kind of cool. But she's obviously the part that she's gay, but we didn't want to go, like, God forbid, go the sugar-coated, made-up, cinematic, male gaze bullshit, right? Like, we did not want to go in. We just wanted somebody real, somebody that comes in and challenges Magda, and it just becomes a love story. We're not even gonna go into the whole sexuality, like levels of, or even like in a discussion, like let's just have these two connect and let's just go with it, right? It's not even so much, it's more universal, it's just more real somehow. But when she came in, then Magda told me like, I get the scene now. Now I see it, like there's like levels here. It's not just she comes in, can I have a job? It's like every time she looks here and she does something here and she walks around and, oh, okay, now I see the whole thing. So sometimes you need like another actor just to unlock it. And from what you said, your friend were talking, I mean, sure, all of a sudden you put in music at a terrible scene and the scene all of a sudden makes sense. It's not that it's suddenly good. It was always good, but it wasn't unlocked or something was missing. And there is that saying, right? A film is made 3 times, in the writing, in the shooting, and in the editing, from scratch, like every time. And I'm sure if you were talking with my editor, he would say, oh, of course we made this film in editing. That the editor saves the day, and the DP does the same, and the actress does the same, and I'm saying, no, 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 my writing did, and all that. So it's amazing that any film comes out and is even decent, in a way, because there's so many people involved, and any smallest mistake can just kill a film, just to totally, yeah, if we would have miscast the Natalia part, or the part that is played by Natalia, that would have been, a disaster. Because the entire unlockment of Magdalena depends on her meeting a person who might actually see herself in Magdalena that is younger, but at the same time is kind of circling her because she's been through toxic relationships before. So it's like a very dangerous, it was very hard finding her, finding that actress to do it.
Well, that's just a testament to how well casted and what a great job you did selecting your crew, because the editing, cinematography, obviously the acting, the writing, the directing was all fantastic, and as a whole made a wonderful film.
Thank you.
Since this is a film about music, I'd like to talk about the music.
Hmm?
Can you tell us what your music selection process was like for this film? I'm specifically curious about the first song Magdalena plays when she's kind of auditioning for the DJ job, and then the third song she plays in the scene where she's kind of following Julia's set and then transitioning into the beginning of her set.
Okay, so first off, our movie was a micro budget. Micro budget means 700K before taxes in zlotys. That is about 125 maybe dollars.
That is amazing. I would have never guessed that.
125K, yeah,
It looks
and
so
everybody
rich.
got paid, and everybody got paid. Not a free job.
Wow.
Paid a bit less, but we still needed equipment and everything. My editor, who's my friend, he got paid. He did the speaking of music, my editor did the guitar stuff.
Oh, wow.
Like the solo guitar stuff, the really soft stuff. That was and that was funny because we were sitting and editing, 10 hours a day, and every once in a while he has a break, he rolls a cigarette, and he brings out the guitar. And after a while, I'm like, I kind of like that guitar. And he was really stressed about it. He's extremely confident, bordering on rude when editing. But when we're talking about his guitar music, he was like, like a schoolgirl afraid of first day at school. Like he was like, it's gonna be good. I don't know. And now he's released a CD, so so that went well. But about the music, so what I did was, this is classic me. So I want to make a film about a DJ, right? So I need her to be good. I don't know anything about DJing, right? Even though I've had a program once in my life and played around, I'm not talking myself into that I know anything about it. But at the same time, I know that I have, so I'm guessing that almost everybody have a really good nose for BS. If I'm watching a TV show that is about doctors doing some heart transplant, which I know nothing about, I know immediately if the filmmakers knew or if they're cheating everything, right? There was the really good show called Dr. Death with, what's his name? Pacey from Dawson's Creek playing the horrible neurologist doctor who's doing it, but he's doing it badly. And I was just sitting like this because they clearly did the research, right? So here I had to do the research. So I basically went and got a great DJ to make it for me. And she worked with Magdalena for over a year during lockdown. So when we see Magdalena Jacques DJing in the film, it's real. Because I told her like she needs to be able to put on at least a 15-minute set, but like with all the attractive stuff, right? That she's moving this and that. So we need to give her she's not just changing music, right? She needs to actually do the music. And her name was Praktyczna Pani, Marta Konde. And Marta took her to, when there was the lockdown, they have these kind of half legal clubs, and they actually did a set together. Because I said, like, I want her to, like, because I want her to fail. Like, I wanted to fail with people in front of her because there's nothing like failure to get you, okay, I really need to do this, right? And I remember I got her a backpack early. We bought her the it's pretty basic, but it's still pretty good. The DJ set board, the console. And I told her like put it in a backpack, like walk around this all day, right? You're going to anywhere you're going, you bring this backpack because you need to have that walk. You need to find the Magdalena walk. And so when we see it, all that music was from Marta, except the first one, because that's a song I don't remember where it came from. Maybe my director of photography proposed it, or somewhere I got that song. Maybe Magda actually. And listening, like this is really I like this. There's something going on there, and we got permission to use it, luckily. And so then Marta, our DJ who taught Magda, took it, remade it a bit so she can DJ it, and Magda actually DJ'd it, and we recorded it on the set. And obviously there is some cheating later in editing, but we actually recorded it from the console, not from the mic, but cable into the console to get it perfectly registered and put it in the film.
That's amazing. I actually,
And I'm sure you can tell that she is actually DJing, whether
yeah,
you
I
know
can.
how to DJ or not.
Yeah.
She's not just pretending. Like Marta later started sending me clips from other Polish films when somebody is, fake DJing using one console, which you can't do, right? Even I know that after the fact, because I was always there. We need to have the two boards and everything, and here somebody's using one and pretending like it's.
Yeah.
I just can't stand that because it's so disrespectful, not only to the audience but to the medium, to the theme. Like I can't say anything about DJing unless I know anything about it. And actually my contact with Marta, the first one was for her to consult the script, like read the script, tell me what's BS. And I told her like, because I made this up, right? I mean, I did some research, but you are in the next point of research, and especially the dialogue. And she changed maybe 2-3 things. And overall, she was very positive about it, and she was on set all the days. Yeah. And it kind of, I think Magda took a lot from Marta, because Marta was she was a slight proposition to play the other DJ, because she's in that age. She's super cool. I'm not outing her, right? She's gay. And, but she wasn't confident in acting, and it would have been a disaster because she didn't have the acting part. But she was there on set when we did the love scene. She was there when we did all the DJ scenes. When we did the clubs overall, right? Like, this is a good club, this is worse, we need to change this because this doesn't look like a club, or the people dancing, or a lot of that kind of help and research, which is, I mean, again, right, it's a team effort. It's not, I don't know about DJing in nightclubs today. Last time I was in a club was 15 years ago, probably. So, and I
Same.
was never, and I was never
I
a
mean,
clubber anyway, right? So yeah. So I think it's important to surround yourself with the right people.
and Marta did a great job. You said she made every song with Magda in the film. Is that including the theme, or the what I felt like might have been the theme, the song that you use in the trailer, and it also appears in the middle
Oh
beginning?
no, so the theme is actually the guitar thing that comes back 3
Okay.
times. I mean, for me, right? Because it's at the start, at the end, and in the
Right,
middle.
correct.
It's like
No, you're right.
it's
That
like
is the
Magda's
theme.
theme anyway.
Yes.
Then Marta did all the DJ music, or how we would call it, right? I wouldn't want to call it techno, but whatever. Yeah. Then there are 2 songs that she didn't make them, but her friends, Klipse Panda, a really cool duo, and she does work with them sometimes.
I see. So
And
what are they
and
called?
I guess
Klipsi
that's
Panda?
Klipse Panda. And they did those 2 songs that we use kind of next to each other when they go, and Marta is DJing upstairs, and we see her down on a lower level, and then they go home and they kiss.
Yes,
And
that one.
those 2 songs, and we use that in the trailer because it's a very like attractive song, and it's also a fun counter to, because we're showing like drama scenes from the film, but we're doing a upbeat song. So no, those 2 were I mean, real songs from a real album, but made by friends of Marta as well.
It's great. I mean, it works great in the film and it's excellent in the trailer. I love the way the trailer was cut to that song. I thought it was perfect, especially the ending where she's kind of, you have the 4 shots of the headphones and they're all spliced together. I was just like, this is perfect.
Oh,
It's
great.
great.
That was my idea. I'm really proud of that trailer. We
It's
had somebody
amazing.
make a horrendous trailer and we had to can that person. She was very angry. Then we had someone else, and I just have an idea. Let's put this song and let's do some of the stuff. And yeah, and there we go. Sometimes you have to do that. It's just cruel to continue either way.
Exactly. I'd like to move on and talk about some of the themes in your film.
Mhm.
I love that this film, of course, is very female driven. Your protagonist is female. Her two motivating forces are both the two most important females in her life. There's obviously a stark contrast between the positive influence of women in her life, as opposed to the harmful and negative influence the men she encounters. This is kind of a two-part question slash commentary. One of my favorite scenes in the film is probably one of the darker scenes, but it's still my favorite because she finally gets revenge. It's shortly after her mother's boyfriend rapes her. She turns on all the gas in the apartment and she locks him in, she steals his money, and she bounces. To me, I kind of felt like that was her revenge on her first rapist as well as her second rapist, but also perhaps maybe this is me just pulling too much, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of felt like maybe it was also a little bit of revenge for the lack of a strong father figure in her life, because we don't ever hear from a father. It's just her mom that we see in the film. Can you tell us more about that, between the contrast and also, I guess, the negative influence of the males in her life?
Sure. I mean, first of all, there is no like wrong opinion, right? I actually don't like talking too much about the films in that sense because I don't want to change your opinion if you had a different one. I agree with the one you said now, that it's first off, my favorite shot in the film is when she's just standing over that sleeping sack
So
of, you know,
good. It's so good.
because
She's just
that
kind
because
of just
that shot could go on for 5 minutes for me. She's just, you can see her contemplating and the hate just bubbling, right? And doing what she does there, because she can slit her, she's contemplating, should I slit his throat right here, right? Should I really cross the line and just paint the walls with this guy? But when she walks out of there, she has the strength to, for instance, get her equipment back. Like no matter what, right? She goes in there, she has money, but if she doesn't have money, she's still getting it. And even if she has to paint the walls with that guy, right? And then she's gonna go get her daughter. If she has to burn the house down, she's gonna get it, right? So that is a crucial reflection of her. I don't want to say scene because it's not as if that helped. It's just a enough is enough, right? It's the beginning of a revenge movie, basically, like a really exploitative revenge movie when somebody has fallen as far as they can and they're just saying, all right, this is enough. The themes you're talking about are obviously there. The first idea, as soon as I knew that I had this Magdalena character, was let's put her and her daughter and her mother under one roof. So we have 3 generations of women, but no men for different reasons. There are no men there. And the reasons are very clear. And yeah, I mean, the reason Julia shows up is because she would never allow a man close to her. We even play with it a bit. I mean, she has a female boss. Like we could have made that a man. Like, it's gonna be too obvious, right? Because we have this guy in the pawn shop, and we have the guy who becomes the intruder to the mother who has basically sworn off men for 20 years because she made a mistake once and she got pregnant with the wrong guy. That is the mistake. Magdalena isn't a mistake in and of itself, but like the man. So she needs something, and I mean, we can smell him outright straight away. He knows that Magdalena's mom is weak. Any touch and she'll be, because she hasn't had it for so long. So yeah, that it was a conscious decision to make these characters this way because this is the story of the main character. And that duality, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, right? And yeah.
Unfortunately, we only have, I think, 8 minutes left, but I think I can squeeze
Yeah.
in a couple more questions for you.
I'll answer much shorter, so fire away.
I sensed a few inspirations, and you can, of course, correct me if I'm wrong. They might be stretches, but I did I did recall a few of my favorite films from the past. The first was Lilia Forever. Lilia and Magdalena have had some similarities, and even some of the imagery reminded me of each other. And then the second film was Double Life of Veronique by Kieslowski.
Mhm.
Are either of those filmmakers, have any of them had an influence
I
on you?
mean, I am Swedish, so I know Lukas Moodysson, of course, who did Lilia Forever. I have not seen Lilia Forever,
Oh, okay.
but I know the director. He did Fucking Åmål, Show Me
Mhm.
Love. I think it was called internationally excellent film. That was a film that changed me and all of my friends instantly, the whole generation.
Show Me
14,
Love.
yeah, being 14 and seeing that film, which is about two girls. So
Yes,
maybe
it's a
that one.
beautiful film. It's very
Yeah.
nostalgic for me, and it affected me in a similar way as well.
The Veronique I've seen is great. I did not think about that one at all. I think more maybe, I mean, certainly visually Fish Tank, even
Oh,
though,
Fish Tank.
yeah, the four by three.
Yeah,
Even though
very
I'm not a
nice.
huge fan of that film story-wise, I cannot say that it wasn't also a bit inspirational. We used stills from that one when we talked about a mood board, like the look. I really like the
Mhm.
look and how it feels real. There's some things in that story that I don't, but sometimes it's even better to take a movie that you kind of like and make it a better version. So maybe that happened. I mean, in intention, I'm not saying we're better than Fish Tank. And also Rosetta by the Dardenne brothers. In the look, right? Trying to make this kind of really raw, um, not using the word documentary because it's so overused. Let's make a documentary look, but just a real feeling. And I don't even remember now. Probably no, it came after our movie, but that kind of movie that just speaks to me. Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, the most stressful film you've ever seen, basically.
Yes, it's great
Uh, I
though. I love that
I know
film.
we talked about because Condi did the shots, and we talked about him certainly as an inspiration, like the blacks. I think you call it crush the blacks when it's like when the blacks on your screen are really like pure black, right? Darkness, not like whitish black.
Mhm.
We really wanted that contrast, right? We wanted green to be very green, blue to be very blue, red and so on. Like red, the shirt, we picked the sweater to be that kind of blood red. And I want it to look blood red. And I want every time we have shadows, I want it to be really dark, like proper black shadows, because that basically very hard contrast. And Condi does that, and we talked about him because my DP really liked him, and he did later the Uncut Gems. A movie that always inspires me is Pusher, the Danish film, or the
I just
trilogy.
recently saw that. It's
Oh
great.
my God, it's so, I mean, when I saw
Yeah.
that when I was 16 or something, it blew my head off. This dirty, real, brutal. I mean, we know that that's Mads Mikkelsen today in the second. No, he's in the first film. He's the main guy in the second film, but yeah, and Kim Bodnia and all these guys. But you talk about a raw, just explosion on the screen, and we use that one a lot as a way to help ourselves because we can't. We have to shoot this scene in 90 minutes, not 4 hours, and we have to do that one and so let's look at Pusher. It can look like it's allowed to look like Pusher. There's a scene in Pusher when he walks into the Chinese restaurants and up the stairs, and half that time it's dark. You cannot see anything, and I'm like, that's so cool. What an fu to the audience or to the rules of the game, right? What do you mean we need to put lights here? Like, no, 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 no lights. It's gonna be dark. Why? Because when you walk through a dirty behind a Chinese restaurant that's a front for the mafia. Like it's gonna be dark and dirty. That's excellent. So we need to do that, and we use that as a plus. Like I know we're running out of time, but that's why we put the masks because we were shooting during COVID.
Right.
And first off, if Magdalena or me gets sick, it's over. It's game over, right? We don't have a
Yeah.
film because that was when you go 2 weeks into lockdown and there's no. But second of all, that kind of made it easier for us because we can have that explains the empty streets why it's so few people because Poland is not that low populated normally. It also explains how we can have a party that's kind of quasi illegal, but some people have masks and you also put it right here and now, right? And we even had some fun with that. Like, oh, she walks into the cafe, she does the gel thing, right? Let's just put that in. It'll be real. It'll give us a bit of realism. So
Thank you for that. And for the last, we have a couple minutes more. I would love to learn what's next for you.
Oh, who knows? I mean, theater at the moment. I've
Yes.
written a screenplay that I really like. I wrote it actually before Magdalena.
Oh, wow.
It's harder to make. It's a road movie, like it's an American road movie in Poland.
What's
It
it
really
called?
Suicide Blonde.
Oh, very nice.
It's a road movie in a Mustang, and it plays around with all the classic American road movie tropes, with characters who do not know that they're in that film. It's a real drama for them. And yeah, I'm trying to have it made for a couple of years now. It's hard. Now I'm writing something new, which is kind of Magdalena, but turned on its head, that it's about men. A father, his son. His son is gay. His father is an alcoholic who is religious, and the mom is just gone, right? Just left. And they hate each other, but they're kind of, forced to somehow live with each other. And yeah, like a very uncomfortable drama yet again. But, you know, whatever, whatever makes you tick or whatever makes you think. So,
Well, good luck to you on your next project. You'll have to keep me posted because, of course, I'd love to see them both. And thank you
sure.
so much again for taking the time to enlighten us and chat with us today. I look forward to connecting with you again, and I hope you have a wonderful trip and a wonderful theater production as well.
Thank you. I hope so too. Thank you, everyone.